Okay. So I listened to, okay, it was Malcolm Gladwell I was listening to, and he was talking about, somebody was trying to tell him about, big companies, they have a lot of resources and everything. And he was like, okay, if you're saying big companies have a lot of resources, you know that there's strength in being small.
Yeah.
And, until you identify that strength and you stop focusing on how big the big people are. Because just like you said, like if you're in a meeting, most times you would ask, like, what would this person and sons do, So what would you say, what strengths would you say SMEs have that they can harness, that they don't, even think about?
Number one would be flexibility.
Okay.
Flexibility, autonomy of decision making. And I'll say this because I've worked mostly with multinationals, right? And if there is anything that can be limiting, is the fact that there are certain decisions you cannot take on a brand as even marketing, the head of marketing, there are certain decisions you cannot just take, because for brands that are global, you can't wake up and say, oh, Nigerians like to see this, so therefore I want to change the way we write, Coca-Cola on the bottle. Who are you? Like, who are you? That's the question. Who are you? Why would, you have to, yes, you can put your insights, put it forward, but there are so many things to consider. Are we doing it as an African business? Are we, there's so many conversations. You start to speak a lot of English. When you own your business as an SME, you understand that you are in a local market. You speak the local language, and you can make your decisions. And so that flexibility is one strength. Sourcing, and the flexibility, sorry, I wanted to put them separately, but it's flexibility across. Flexibility in your marketing process, right? Flexibility in your supply chain, for example. As a big company, there is a way NAFDAC is much more, how do I explain it now? There are expectations, there are standards that you can be sure that bigger companies would. I'm trying to be careful with my words, but many of the multinationals, they can't just change things in their formulation. They can't. They are bound by rules, by different things. And of course, because the fine will be greater if anything comes out of it. So they would not even do it without going through a process and all, even though that change that we're about to make does not impact on the final product in terms of quality. In fact, no multinational would try to jeopardize quality. But you see, SMEs, I'm not propagating that people should start doing rubbish, but there is a hike in the price of palm oil. You can immediately make changes, right? While you're making, when you finish making, in fact, you would have been selling before you now remember, okay, I need to tell NAFDAC that I've made a change. That's if you even ever do that, right? So for many SMEs, there's much more flexibility in your process. There's flexibility in where you source. You can change your supplier. I cannot just wake up and change a supplier. There's a lot of process to changing a supplier. So that flexibility makes it faster, easier. The impact of changes on your business is much more manageable, right? So when you look at the big companies, right, there's a lot of work that the people that are in charge of regulatory, they are regulatory managers. In every multinational has a regulatory manager. How many small businesses, so there's a lot of work that they have to do to make sure that the impact of changes in the economy is not eating us as hard. While for you can change on the go. So that for me is like the biggest strength, right? It's the biggest strength. It's the biggest strength for me. I cannot, I think that covers a lot of the other things, because the decision-making process for businesses is what actually keeps a business going. So that strength, having that strength is something I think that SMEs should take as much advantage of, because except you are scared to fail, here again, we know we're in Nigeria, a lot of things can happen, but there is always a time when you can just decide, I want to extend this business, I want to contrast this business. There are so many things you can do on the go without feeling the impact as much as a bigger company. Yeah.
So now we small business or small scale business owners, like we always feel like we can do, or even when we outsource marketing, because most times we feel like we can handle marketing ourselves. And even when we outsource, I feel like sometimes we outsource wrongly. Like we don't know which to put. For instance, me, I wouldn't, instead of getting someone to manage my Instagram page, I would pay someone to manage my ads. Because I can't afford both. But I can choose. And if I were, so what would you say businesses should outsource when it comes to marketing?
Yeah, I think you
What
can
aspects
outsource.
of
I think
marketing?
the many aspects of marketing, in the big companies, for example, that you refer to, you can we outsource, for example. Well, not necessarily outsource. We have a media manager, but we have a media buying, all of the TV ads and all of that you see is mostly outsourced. We don't sit down and start looking for, okay, how do we get on NCA? There are companies that do that. Right? So for small businesses in marketing, I would say especially when you're not tech savvy, I think you should outsource your digital. However, I think you should keep your digital sales in-house, because I don't think you should outsource the selling process online. Recruit someone to do it, someone that is accountable 100% to the company. Creating the content and all can be done maybe by the same person if the person is an expert, but a lot of the people that just respond, they know how to just say, yes, it's available, no, it's not available, give us your address, delivery, and all of those things. So they may not be, I don't even think is wise. I think content creation, creating that can be outsourced. Right? I don't create I don't even have the time. I only write articles. I sit down, think of something that I think is a debate, or people annoy me when they talk about it, and I'm like, okay, I'll just write on this, look for sources, put it together, and send it to someone, and she puts it in slides for people to flip through. I don't have time for that, right? And I'm not selling. By the way, I don't yet sell most my services, right? So if you are doing your own business and you know that, Canva is not your strength. I know people go and do Canva classes and all, but if you have the resources, for example, and you want to spend more time on the farm, get a content creator who is very good at it. They don't need to be exclusive to you. They just need to be very good. And what you need to do is have them take a shoot day, take a whatever day, do your videos. They will help you insert all the bang, bang, boom, all those things, because you need to also be on top of other things, especially if you are in a product business. You need to be in charge of all the other processes. So I think you can outsource your digital content.
Content too.
Yeah.
Okay. So finally, what aspects of sales and marketing do you think business owners, what aspects should they make priority when it comes to sales and marketing?
Sales and marketing.
To get the best results.
Marketing and sales.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I mean, the priority is making sure you are selling the right thing. The first, marketing is not complex. It's complex and it's not complex, but for SMEs, I would say look at what we call the P's of marketing and look across if you are ticking the box, right? It's that simple. But your priority, the number one priority is making sure you're bringing the right product to market. If people don't need what you are offering, or if what you are offering does not It's not a want. It's not necessary. You are literally wasting your time. And you'll be putting so much effort in doing the wrong thing. It's like when I see, I remember there's something that I always see people sell in traffic that amuses me. I think it's bulb. Either bulb or, but I'm sure you've been in traffic and you just see someone selling something ridiculous. Because it's going to be like 1 in 1,000 people who is going to just stop and say, yes, I need that thing. Just think of something that, because if you're going to sell in traffic, you need to be selling something that sells.
True.
Right? It's a time frame. It's on the go.
Very short.
It's very short. Why are you selling,
why are you wasting your time and wasting other people's time?
And wasting the space because somebody else is trying to navigate and you're just there standing with whatever it is you're selling, right? So that's my easiest analogy. Sometimes when I just see that happening. So if you want to start a business or you are doing a business, the most critical thing to focus on at the very beginning, the very least you can do, is come to market with the right product.
But there's one thing about that, because like I say, I'm going back to this affordability thing, because you don't get to test you don't have as much resources to test your product. There's so much you cannot do as a small business, and if you start to analyze and analyze, you just realize that you can get stuck. So that balance of getting that product right, not wasting too much time, that MVP, that minimum viable product, like, it's tricky.
It is. It's why you cannot look at the product in isolation. Right? The right product, yes, but the right product for who? Would you go and be selling rat poison on Bola Tinubu streets? I know there are rats there anyways, because Ikoyi is a scam sometimes. You just see them. But literally, you get what I mean? There's someone coming to fumigate.
Yes.
But if you come to my streets, if you come out of my street, right? Again, I hate doing these things on social media. Because then they're like, with this your fine hair, there's rat on your street. But yeah, every time I come out of my house, there's always one random person selling rat poison on the street. But I can't get it because there are rats on my streets. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. So it's not that you need to do intense research. It's that you need to understand that whatever I'm bringing to the market, I need to know who I am selling it to and make sure that it is right for that person. Right? On the same Bola Tinubu social media, we have, I'm sorry that I mentioned this name again. I'm not campaigning for anybody. We have people who are selling beauty products are like the most popular things on social media, by the way, right? So we have people who are selling hair bundles at 300, 400, 500k, right? And when they are doing their targeted ads, they know who they are targeting. That's why they are targeted ads, because you can target people by their demographic, right? So it's the same way we have people that will continue doing promo, who say, promo, even though half of it is fake. But we know that there are people that will sell 50k, 100k, they will never sell anything below 100k. And they are getting their customers. So it's that they've made it that, look, I'm bringing Vietnam air, right? Whether it's from Vietnam or not, I'm calling it Vietnam air. But this is who I'm targeting. I'm targeting women who live in this area, that area, who follow so people, who do this, who do that, and work in this kind of jobs, right? So if you've done all of that, you will be able to create a niche. If you're going to get a shop in a particular part of Lagos, you understand who you're selling to. Even for supermarket business, for example, there is a reason why Just Right does not open stores in Ikoyi. Doesn't mean they even sell cheaper, by the way, but they are clear. Even by their color, yellow and blue, they are very clear. They are going to be in rural, urban areas,
Yes.
in key cities. It's a strategy. But if you don't, put that out first of all, you don't even have any strategy to go with because you don't even know who you're selling to. And it's fine at the beginning because at the beginning, most people start their small businesses to survive. I always want to reiterate that. And it's fine. But the moment you come up from the survival mode, it's best to put a plan behind your business so that it's sustainable going forward.
Okay, thank you so much, Soraya.
Thank you
so
for
much.
having me.
There's actually no time I sit to talk with you that I don't learn a lot. So I've learned a lot today. Can you leave just one thing with entrepreneurs today? If there's that one thing you will leave,
Whew. If I have to leave anything, it won't be sales and marketing. It will just be for them to hang in there because it's very personal to me, So I'm the SME cheerleader because I know that I could never. So please, for small and medium enterprises that are especially just starting up, I would say hang in there, go with the flow in the beginning, but it's very important that at some point you create the flow for your business, especially when it comes to marketing. That's what I'll leave with them.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Olayemi.
So
Thank you for having me.
if you're trying to learn more about sales and marketing, I totally recommend that you follow Moturayo Babalola on Instagram. She shares the best tips. So thank you.
Thank you.
So we've had, I've had a great time talking to Moturayo Babalola today. She has given, great tips. And to find out more, to learn more, you can subscribe. You can also check out themarketfoodshop.com. It's an online food market where you can buy different various raw food items from wherever it is you are across the world. You can also follow us on Instagram at The Market Food Shop. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.